Hey everyone, welcome back to another chassis series video. And yeah, I know it's been a long time. Obviously there was a few different factors that sort of influenced this. One of those big ones was just a general kind of malaise with the game. It didn't really go anywhere for a long time, to be fair, before a lot of the more recent additions and stuff came in, i.e. new pieces of tech and weapons and gear like that. And just, yeah, I've had people asking, like, do you not do MechWarrior Online anymore? Do you not do Battletech? I was like, well, yeah, I'm still there. It's just MechWarrior Online just, for the longest time, wasn't going anywhere. And when the Longbow arrived, I was planning on doing something with it, because I was gifted this very generously by Devin. Who occasionally joins the streams and the like, and obviously I'm very appreciative of that, and I apologise for it being a little while before this video was even made. But there was also the tragic passing of Davros, and I had so many good memories associated with MechWarrior Online and doing the streams and stuff with Alex that it just completely took any interest for me from making any other content from MechWarrior for quite a while. So yeah, that's why there's been a delay. That's why there hasn't been any MechWarrior Online gameplay vids for a long time. But just to put that in perspective, for a lot of people who I'll drop into a match and they're always asking the same question, I thought you'd stop playing. It was like, no, it's just there was a period where I didn't want to play, and yeah, it's over that largely. So we're back. There are new mechs coming to MechWarrior Online. Obviously there's the Black Hawk KU at the time I'm recording this. Obviously that is going to go live, I believe, this week, for the packs to go up, and then next month in May 2024 there's going to be a completely new chassis. So there's going to be all new mechs coming again. So there is that, and I'll be going through the variants of this here Longbow as well over the coming weeks, with different gameplay videos, as I used to do with the chassis variant series and all that guff. Where somebody can get really incensed with my playstyle, and not understand at all that all of these are just the default loadouts and me playing matches and them talking about the background of the mechs. I do find it amusing, but yeah. That's enough of a ramble for me, so we'll get over to the actual match itself. I'm sure someone will put a timestamp in there so they can get past this, just the gameplay. So, yeah, the Longbow. I was a bit miffed with the way PGI introduced this mech, because they didn't put in the classic, the 7Q. I don't know why. The 7Q is the original model of the Longbow. It's got a bit of a weird history within the sort of writing halls of Battletech. It was a mech that was visually shown in some of the early books. I believe the Star League sourcebook was the first time that the anime artwork, the unseen artwork, was used, but it was never statted, I don't think. And then it was referenced in the Sorensen Sabres sourcebook, but I don't think there was any art shown, and it was incorrectly, I think, referred to as a 60-tonner. So the Longbow's had this kind of weird history where it's always kind of been there, but it wasn't statted. It wasn't in the original technical readouts, and it was technical readout 3058 where it had its first official write-up, and it had some new artwork to go with it. So it was retroactively added as always being there and being super popular fire support unit. In universe, it was around since the late 2400s, I want to say. So really early into battle mech development eras, after the Mackie obviously kicked the whole thing off. It was equipped with twin LRM-20s, 2 LRM-5s, and 2 medium lasers. Now, the version here in MWO that is the closest to the default of that is the 10C, I think this is. I say that because the editor has a smaller preview window, so I can't quite read the screen, but it's the 10C, I think, anyway, which is virtually the same thing. It's just with later technology from the 3060s. So it has LRM-20, 2 LRM-5s with the Artemis fire control system and 2 ER medium lasers, and that's literally the only difference with the mech. By comparison, slightly extended range, more heat, but more accurate missiles. Outside of that, I don't think the mech is that much different. It's a solid fire support platform. It does its job very, very well. And in universe, it was very well respected. It proliferated across the inner sphere. It was originally something that was meant to be kind of kept within the armies. Star League and Starcore Industries got hold of the rights to produce it, and due to their multinational status, they essentially just started selling the thing to all the great houses and periphery states, which is what led to the Longbow becoming so popular across the inner sphere. There was some disastrous attempts at making a short-range version of it around the clan invasion era, which didn't go well, and for that reason it fell out of popularity with more modern designs, things like the Salamander and gear like that. But the Longbow is still one of those iconic battle mechs. As I said, it's weird. A lot of fans know it and they love it, but they don't actually remember it properly. The weird thing, the other annoying thing about this one in particular is that this isn't physically accurate to the standard Longbow 7Q. I believe this is correct in the sense that the 10C has all of the missiles in the arms. Oh, sorry, this has 40 R mediums, that's right. Yeah, this adds more lasers, although I can't remember if 2 of them are rear-mounted. I think it might be the case. But anyway, all of the missiles are in the arms on this model, which is incorrect. The original 7Q, which I don't know why it isn't in the pack. I double-checked this on the MWO website, and if I've missed it, please correct me in the comments to say that, because I wasn't sure if it was like, you had to get it in a certain amount of time to qualify for a 7Q model or something like that, but it's really weird that the 7Q was just completely left off the table, but it has, the LRM5s are located in the right and left torso, so in MWO terms that at least would have given you build options to have a mech that if it loses its arms, the 2 really big, easily shot things on this model, you would still have some missile options, being able to put like MRMs, SRMs, streaks, whatever you want to put in there. To make it slightly more viable, because as it is, its biggest punch is let down by the fact that, yeah, if your missile tubes are spotted, they are easily going to be shot off this thing. It's a drawback, but it's not meant to be frontline, you know, in theory. Obviously in MechWarrior Online that is a very different case. Obviously the way that the game plays, a lot of people hate LRMs because they feel there's the no-skill weapons, so a lot of LRM gameplay gets heavily nerfed, which in my opinion then leads to a domino effect of players in light mechs don't have to do things like scouting and spotting targets. Equipment like tag and narc get less emphasis in the game because not as many people will use it, because less people are using LRMs because there's a negative connotation surrounding them, and then obviously there's the element that people feel that, you know, it's no skill. That's why you need to have just all the lasers, and you press the button and you fire all the lasers at the mech and do all the damage in one quick burst, because that's skillful, isn't it? It's this back and forth stupid argument. In my opinion, I think all playstyles are viable. I don't think there's any reason to shit on somebody because they enjoy playing the game where they are a fire support unit compared to somebody who wants to be a madman with a shitload of machine guns, someone who wants to go full wub with pulse lasers, another person who wants to go with a mix of things. Just let people play how they want to play. You know, it's like it's complaints like this that has led MechWarrior Online down the path that it's gone, where they've had to do numerous reiterations of weapon systems and rebalances and all the rest of it because they kept pivoting toward the most vocal people on the fucking forums or on Twitter, and yeah, it just leads to like these ridiculous situations. But yeah, that's that rant out of the way. The Longbow though, as a pack, in my opinion, it's worth it. It's the Longbow. It looks great. This is a nice modern visual update of the machine. It's close enough to the current artwork as well, which they've been doing for the things like the recognition guides that were coming out. And yeah, it's a nice sort of mix of a more modern interpretation, with a little bit of elements of the original artwork in there. So it's great to obviously see it represented again in one of the digital spaces, because yeah, it is one of those mechs that has got a place in a lot of fans' hearts as just one of those cool assault mechs that have got just awesome gameplay around them. Great to use on the table. And yeah, it's a groovy mech. I think I did alright. I mean, I probably didn't do as well as some people. Some people were like, well, Rocky, you clearly had the wrong positioning there. You should have moved over. Oh my, I've got to fix this. I'm going to move my pocket protector. Oh, I don't want to get too excited. It's just, you know, it's like, you could have done 6,000 damage if you've been positioned in whatever position, wherever, whenever. Oh, binary lasers, pop. So, yeah, that was a Longbow gameplay. And yeah, well, I enjoyed it. It was a bloody good time. So I'll leave you all with that. As always, thank you for joining. I will catch you for whatever the next one may be. Have a good one all. Bye bye.